the passing of Jay Briscoe from Tuesday before we get an AEW from Wednesday. Just super shocking, dying at the age of 38. He was one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions at the time of his passing. We literally just saw him a month ago, Final Battle, beating FTR in one of the greatest trilogies of tag team matches I've ever seen personally. FTR and the Briscoes killing it in 2022. Some of the best matches, if not the best series of matches, period, last year in any company, in my opinion. A legend in Ring of Honor, just a legend in general. I mean, one of the greatest names to never go to WWE. The Briscoes had a lot of success in Ring of Honor, of course, Impact last year, NWA they were in last year, GCW, New Japan. They've held titles all across the world for 20 fucking years. They arrived in Ring of Honor when they were, I think, 18 years old, respectively, both Mark and Jay. 13-time tag team champions in that company. Jay, a former world champion, 2-time world champion, in his own right. It's super sad to see him pass away. And in the fashion in which it happened, too, a car accident where his kids, we still don't know the status of them. Thoughts and prayers are with that family, with the Pugh family. That's his real last name. But, the daughters were involved in the wreck. Just a super sad situation all around.
Yeah, definitely sad to see. Like you said, I'm not too diverse with the Briscoes. I mean, I've seen some of their matches. Like I said, a couple of their matches with the FTR this year, which are great, or last year, I guess you would say. But definitely, like I said, the timing's definitely sad. I think some of his family is still like in the hospital, or kind of not doing well. So that's also tough to see. But hopefully, they can pull through if that's going on. But like you said, really sad to see him go. It's even harder with the young age. Like you said, 38 years. It's not like he's in his late 60s, early 70s. Still like in his prime and still just a young man, I would say.
Yeah,
like a fan. Yeah. It just sucks, honestly.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is just tragic. But you mentioned, I know you're obviously not the most avid viewer of Ring of Honor, but listen, I remember a time. Remember you wrote that article? I don't know how long it was ago, 7 years ago, when you wrote that article saying free agents from the independent scene you want in WWE, and you listed the Briscoes. You had known enough about them even at that point to want to see them in WWE.
Yeah, they were like, I felt like at a time like them, Adam Cole, they were definitely the big names for Ring of Honor, like Kevin Owens obviously as well. But yeah, I feel like they might go down as like one of the best team or best wrestlers that never like touched WWE.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, the story goes is that they were supposed to go, and that WWE wanted them 10 years ago. Actually, would have been 10 years ago this year before they made those homophobic remarks. I think it might have been Mark as well. I thought it may have been just Jay. I don't remember exactly, but definitely Jay. He's obviously since apologized about it for it a lot publicly, immediately right afterward. I think he did on television, various interviews, and proving he was remorseful as well by. How he's treated people in that community and stuff like that in the last 10 years. And people have talked about that. They came out about that recently, but that was already kind of public knowledge even prior to his passing. But that was actually the reason why not only did they not go to WWE, which they would have been in WWE by now, had that not happened. That was also the reason why reportedly they were never featured on AEW television. They brought in all the Ring of Honor people when they bought Ring of Honor last year. They featured them all on TV. They were always on the Ring of Honor pay-per-views. They had 3 Ring of Honor pay-per-views last year. They faced FTR on all 3 of them. But they were never on AEW television. Going so far as to, on one of the final Dynamites of last year, a couple of weeks ago, they had the Gun Club, or the Guns, have to issue the challenge for them to a strap match on Dynamite because they couldn't even show the Briscoes. They couldn't even send in a video because someone at Warner Media didn't want them on the show. That's completely subjective as far as whether they should have been, whether those concerns were legitimate. I know, again, he's apologized for it. That was 10 years ago. I don't think everyone on that AEW roster is a saint, so I thought it was ridiculous they were never featured, and now it's a bummer in retrospect, especially now that they're never going to have that chance, at least not Jay. To make matters worse, and why I bring this all up, is because there was a report today, I think from Meltzer. And again, these things are never confirmed, and Meltzer has been wrong before, but I can totally believe it because I thought this was the case last night when I heard about them doing a tribute show. They taped a tribute show last night after Dynamite, and I was really hoping that they would do more on Dynamite itself to honor his life and legacy, largely because, let's face it, he fucking worked for Tony Khan, and I don't blame Tony Khan at all in this situation from what we know about the situation, because I think Tony Khan, being one of the biggest Ring of Honor marks there is, would have absolutely done more. They own the footage of Jay Briscoe. They could have had him on the show, or they could have, aired some footage of him on the show, done a 10-bell salute or something, but they merely just aired a graphic, had wrestlers wear armbands for him, and that was the extent of it. And now it's coming out that someone at Warner Media, whoever didn't like him, did not want them to do a tribute show, and that's why not more was done on the show itself. And now we're getting said tribute show on Honor Club, I think, for free in the Ring of Honor YouTube channel, which is fine, I guess. But I thought it was really disappointing that you're not going to have the family there or Mark there because, again, they're all still grieving. It just happened on fucking Tuesday, obviously. But I don't know. I just thought that was really shitty that they didn't do more for Jay on the show. And again, I don't blame Tony Khan for that personally.
Yeah, I don't blame Tony Khan, but like I said, I think the whole kind of like blackball of the Briscoe, especially on Warner Brothers, it's a shame. Like you said, it happened many years ago. He's apologized multiple times. I mean, at what point does the guy get out of it? Like you just can't ever get past it. I mean, especially after the guy passed away. Like you said, it's also a shame.
Yeah, and as tragically as it happened, too, it wasn't like you said, like the guy's 60, 70, whatever. And again, I mean, some stuff does live with people forever, and I understand that, and, we can argue about that all day. But, I mean, at least in his case, he's shown he was remorseful, and he's made amends, and he's apologized for it a lot. It was 10 years ago. I don't think it's justifiable in my own opinion, but I don't think this is debatable at all. I mean, I think it's really fucking shitty they didn't do more for him on the show, or specifically that Warner Media didn't allow for it. I think that's really fucking awful in my personal opinion. But like I said, he will be missed. I had a chance to meet him once, 6-7 years ago at a Ring of Honor show. I was always a big Briscoes fan. I haven't been watching Ring of Honor since '02, but in the time I have been watching the product for the better part of the past 10 years, the Briscoes were always my favorite team, and they've killed it, especially the last year specifically, in all these various promotions. They had a lot of success, and to see that run come to an end, and it's just sad. They had that amazing dog collar match at Final Battle that I really, really liked. And, man, the whole thing is tragic. And moreover than the wrestling stuff, the guy had a family, he had a wife, he has 2 kids that are in critical condition right now. The whole thing is just sad. So, like you said, hopefully they are doing better. They get well. And, thoughts and prayers are with them.